All right, hey, welcome everyone to the Pay Period Gauge Call. Today is Thursday, December the 4th. My name is Jesse Reynolds. My wife Beth and I are diamond leaders here in the world of AdvoCare. And this can be just a very quick training call slash webinar, I guess. It's going to help you learn and understand exactly what to be focusing in on the next 2 weeks as we work through this pay period. And it's something that some other very successful double diamond distributors were doing, and we saw the value in it. And so since last successful, Beth and I have been offering this for the team, and our team has seen great growth. And so there's some fruit on the tree in terms of how this is helping those who are willing to put the work in, just better understand where to focus. Because as you see there on the screen, that which you focus on and measure increases, and that is especially true here in the world of AdvoCare. So it's real simple. You should see right below where this video is broadcasting now, you should see a tab that says pay period logbook. And you want to make sure and download that so that you can be going through these couple of pages that I'm going to be showing here. I'm just going to go through and help you understand what to be doing this. This is a great discipline that we can all adopt every single pay period in order to help us work with better focus throughout the pay period. And so the first thing is just, what is your goal to earn? How much income is going to make a difference to you? Why are you doing AdvoCare? This is such a simple thing that unfortunately too few distributors on the team actually understand and do. So you got to write down everything is about beginning with the end in mind. What is your goal? And how much income do you want to be earning? What time, by what month, when do you want to be earning that? We've been talking all fall long about where do you want to be by AdvoNation. It just 6 weeks away now, and so that's a great goal. Maybe that's a little too short of a time frame for you. I know some champions, like we got Chris Stokes on the team. She's going to be a full-time mama by May. That's her goal. That's her vision. So you need to know how much income, how soon you're going to be earning that income by, what's that deadline, because if there's not a deadline on it, it's just a dream. And then most importantly, what are you going to do that income so that I'm going to be earning $2,000 a month so that I can be a full-time parent? I'm going to be earning $1,000 a month so that I can get out of student loan debt or credit card debt. You got to know what that's attached to. And then just at kind of an extension of this, it's too few people in life, just anything in life, forget AdvoCare, know what they want. And they also don't know what they don't want. So you want to adopt the discipline, print off this list. I'm sitting in my office right now. I have this exact list, and I've easily got 40 things on my want list, and I've got about, I don't know, 7 or 8 things on my don't want list. This is a list that I've done several times. My list is smaller now because I've done this for over 3 years, and I've seen that we started checking things off. Even if you've done this before, rewrite out your list. It's such a simple thing. It takes just a couple minutes, but what it will do is to help your mind focus on the things that you want, because our mind, our thoughts will move in the direction of our dominant thinking. And so we want to be focusing on those right things. And again, you see this next sheet here. Again, we got to know what the vision is. Where are you going in your business? Everything comes back to, where are you going? If your team leader asks you, where are you going, you need to be able to tell them immediately. If someone asks you, hey, what's that Spark stuff there? I mean, you can say, sure, it's sugar-free mental focus and energy. Or you can say, you know what, this stuff called Spark changed my life. My wife and I started sharing this with other people, and we're on track to making $2,000 a month by February so that we can get completely debt-free. See how you can take just a packet of Spark and you can tie it into your so that. People have to know why you're doing AdvoCare. AdvoCare, as great as our products are and as great as our opportunity is, people aren't interested or attracted to AdvoCare. People are interested in you and attracted to you. And most importantly, they want to know why. You want to start with your why. You want to lead with your why with that. So again, write that out. Such a simple thing to do. And I could probably count on our team, there's only a couple dozen distributors that actually have the discipline to do this. And so then we want to be focusing on some tangible, measurable gauges. So what you see here is this has got your pay period broken up into the first Wednesday of the pay period, so it's 6 days from now. That's the halfway point, and then the pay period closed 2 Tuesdays from now. So you want to be setting some gauges for yourself. This is called the gauge call, right? We need to line up some gauges that we can focus on consistently hitting, that will enable us to get to the goal where we want to be. So let me put this in perspective. You hear all the time on our team about 3,000 PGV and 2 or more distributors. That is just a really consistent gauge. 3,000 PGV, 2 or more distributors. If you consistently focus on hit that, you're going to see growth in your business. But some of you, so that's a good gauge. Like if you're not hitting that first, I would encourage you to set that as your focus. See, right? It says my new frontline recruits, my PGV goal. That's where you want to be focused on. So if that's your goal, well, the thing is, if you're at the first Wednesday of the pay period, that halfway point, your goal is 3,000 PGV, and you only have $400 of PGV. Something's not lining up right there. If that's not the pace that you want to get off to. So you want to be focusing on, if I want to have 3,000 PGV for the period, then you want to be having at least 1,500 PGV for the first Wednesday of the pay period. If your goal is 2 or 3 new distributors, you want to have at least 1 new distributor in the first week. Beth and I sponsored a new distributor at 11 o'clock last night. That just gives us a gust of wind in our sails, because we know we've got that first part checked off, and we can focus on some other things. Now, we're not kicking our feet up, but I'm just telling you that, like, 7 years later, being at the diamond level, I still get fired up about sponsoring new distributors, especially new distributors interested in income. And so we can see, we can go all the way through there. Maybe you're looking to hit a new pin, so you need to know what your override goals. We got a handful of you on the team. You're trying to finish out no limits. We're trying to finish out national leadership these next 2 periods. What does your override need to be? Some of you are maybe earlier on here, and maybe you're just brand new. Maybe it's earning your rookie bonus, or helping a new advisor earn a rookie bonus, or another really important one, success goal numbers. I would encourage you to have gauges in all of these categories. Could be star legs. So track these, set your goals, and then hold yourself accountable. Because what happens, this is a great checkup. If your goal is, say, $500 of override, and it's the first, because you want to qualify gold this period, and it's the first Wednesday of the pay period, and you only have $100, you've got to have a little bit of a reality check, a little wake up call there, and then you need to change your actions in accordance to the goal. See, that's the thing you don't want to do. What unsuccessful people do is they change the goal. Don't change the goal. If you're serious about wanting breakthrough, you want to set the goal, and then you want to change the tactic. So if you've only been talking to 1 person a day, maybe you need to start making some more calls. Maybe you need to up that to 5 people a day. It's be committed. Adopt the discipline of being committed to accomplishing your goals, being committed to simply doing what you said you were going to do. That is a hard thing for so many of us, but what I can tell you is there's character that is developed in that process of commitment. Another thing on these gauges too is, some of you're gunning for Ruby right now, and you see there you want to be filling out this blueprint, right? So these circles should have names in it. You should be at the top, but you won't be filling in names. You won't be filling in names of advisors who are engaging in the success system. That's where you fill this in. What I know is, if you can fill in those names, those circles with 3 different names of advisors engaging in the success system, you have got your foundation that you're laying for getting the Ruby. So here's the thing. If you don't already have your 3, you need to go find them. And so honestly, whenever I've seen major breakthrough in our business, what has always happened is Beth and I have gone into a season of massive action, and those gauges of 2 new distributors, 3,000 PGV, we bump those up. So many of you have heard me talk about, our first huge breakthrough in AdvoCare came back in the spring of 2011, where we'd been in AdvoCare for 3.5 years, and as 3.5-year veterans, we went on a recruiting rampage. We averaged, for 12 straight pay periods, we averaged $4,500 of PGV a pay period, and 4 new frontline distributors. Now, that massive action created momentum that accelerated us into doing everything that you see on the team, all the great things on the team now. It can be traced back to that decision in the spring of 2011 to go out there and treat this business like we were rookies. So that's my encouragement for you. Make sure you set those gauges that are going to get you to where you want to be, because massive action solves all problems. I would jot that down. I would let that ingrain in your heart. Massive action solves all problems. There's something big coming in just 2 weeks on the 17th. It is going to be just a launching point for AdvoCare and where we're going as a company with $1 billion year next year in 2015. The reality of that is, you want to have momentum going into that. You don't want to be kicking your feet up the next 2 weeks, having the 17th hit, and then trying to get in action. That's too late. You're going to miss the boat with that. And you might see some bump, but you're not going to see the type of growth that so many other leaders on the team are going to be experiencing. So you want to know how to work your pay period. This is also important. So this, you see those numbers 1 through 14, those are the days of the pay period, not the days of the month, okay? So yesterday was the first day of the pay period. He had the team kickoff call. That these are some simple disciplines. You have to know and understand that the pay period, there are consistent and pending events every pay period that you and your team need to be taking advantage of. I hope that you were on last night's team call, especially last night's team call, because it was powerful. There was some incredible training that happened, some great stories that were shared. Adopt the discipline of getting yourself, your team members, and this is the third one that's oftentimes missed, and your prospects on the team call. See that distributor that Beth and I signed up at 11 o'clock last night? I got him on the team call. That's what happened. He was still not sure about this. I said, you know what? We got our team call. I called him 10 minutes before the call. It's 10 minutes before. I said, you know what? I'm not sure if this is for you right now, your timing or not. I know you're kind of concerned about money and the holidays. Do me this favor. Just listen to our team call and take an honest look at what it is that we are up to. He texted me immediately after and said, okay, man, let's go. And we signed him up and got him on products, and he and his wife want to build a business because of what he heard on that team call. Here we are on the Gage call. How many of your team members are watching this, whether live or on the replay? This is consistently done. It's such a simple thing that you can just ignore, but that is not going to advance your business. And then you see this coming Saturday morning, the first Saturday of every pay period, there's always a live training webinar with one of Danny and Diane McDaniel's diamonds. So you see right there, basic training webinar is at workwithchampions.com/webinar. Get yourself on that training webinar and get your team members plugged in that training webinar. If you're not yet at the Ruby level, there's no excuse to not be watching those training webinars. And you know, here's the thing, and I hear people say this. Well, you guys say the same things every training webinar. Sure, that might be true. I mean, there's always somebody's got a little different perspective with this or that because it's a different diamond every time. But here's the interesting thing about it. And I know I've heard stories from Charlie Regis, our company founder, and people will say, Charlie, you train on the same stuff every time. When are you going to train on something new? And Charlie's response was, as soon as you start doing what I'm training you on. You know, it's so easy to say, oh, yeah, we're saying the same stuff. But let me ask you this. Do you have a Ruby paycheck yet? If you don't yet have a Ruby paycheck, then maybe you're not so strong on the fundamentals that you think you are, and you need to get back to the basics. It's a basic training webinar. So everything's about impending events. This coming Sunday night, there's going to be a live business presentation call. Can you commit to getting your top 3 prospects to listen to that? Can you work, if you have any team members, some of you are brand new, you don't have a team yet, that's fine. But if you have a team, is your team listening to the call and getting live prospects on the call? That is what the call is there for. It is between the team call and the business presentation call and the business presentation webinar. I don't care what part of the country you live in. Those are the 3 most important impending events for recruiting people. And then fill in the blank with whatever live events you may have going on in your area. But you want to be focusing in on those. And you notice that business presentation webinar leads right into the 2-minute drill. Make sure if you don't know the 2-minute drill that you are watching the 2-minute drill training video, okay? And again, print this off and fill this in. Here is your report card in AdvoCare. How many points can you put up on your DMO checklist each day? I just want you to set that as your goal. Adopt the discipline for this pay period to simply fill in how many points. If you do 2 one-on-ones, well, then put a 2 in there for Thursday, okay? So print this off, fill this in the next 2 weeks, and send this to your leader. You know the amazing thing? I've been saying this for 3.5 months, however long it's been since Success School. Do you know how many distributors on our team have sent me their DMO checklist? 0. If you're on our team and you're watching this, there's no reason to not be printing this off and sending this to your Ruby leader. It's 1, either you lack discipline, or 2, you know you're not doing the work and you're afraid of some accountability. Let me share something with you. Until you are willing to submit to accountability, you will not see growth in your business. That's what your leaders are here for. They're here to help hold you accountable, to help you get where you want to be. It's not a punishment type accountability. It's simply accountability is about empowerment and about growth and about progress. And again, this is just another important, helpful tool. I've got mine printed off again. I'm right here in my whiteboard in my office. You want to be tracking the people you're talking to as you're bringing them through the process. Know where they're at in the process. This will help you with follow-up. Most people do not, you don't have one conversation with them and they go straight to advisor. That's oftentimes not how it works. Occasionally, and that's great when it does, but oftentimes you have to follow up with them. My new distributor I signed up last night, we've had 3 different conversations over the past 2 weeks. He's watched prospecting videos, got them on the call, and now finally has come through the other side as a new distributor. So you want to be taking people through this process. Here's my challenge for you. Can you take 25 people through this process before Advo Nation, either January 10th or 17th, depending where you're going? That is a hard thing to do, but it's very simple. You know, what I know is this: if you were to take that challenge and just simply take 25 new frontline prospects through this recruiting tracker over the next, whatever that is, 35, 40 days, you will see growth in your business. And you want to make, I already kind of hit on this before, you want to make sure that whatever your goals are, that your expectations are properly set. Here's a really simple one. Can you just commit to scheduling one mixer that you personally host before the end of this pay period? That's a really simple thing to do. Now, if you got a large group meeting somewhere in your area, you need to plug into that. Large group meetings are always, do not schedule a mixer on the same day that there's a business opportunity meeting or large group training or something like that in your area. But so pick another day and commit to scheduling your mixer that you host. I don't care where you live or where your sponsor is or anything else. Anyone can host a mixer. We've got an incredible training video at championmakerstraining.com on how to do a mixer. 7 years ago, Beth and I never had our sponsor do a mixer. Z never came up here and did a mixer for us. He just said do a mixer. We didn't have training videos like that. You know what? We made a bunch of mistakes, but we did it anyway, and we consistently did one mixer a pay period. That began to lay the foundation for our business. If you would have looked at the results of that 7 years ago, you would have kind of laughed and said, this thing's never going to work. But the reality is now, Beth and I earn 40 grand a month, and we're both full-time parents because 7 years ago, we adopted the discipline of doing one mixer a pay period. Can you simply commit to hosting your own mixer, not having your leader do your mixer for you? Plug in if they're doing events, but you host your own mixer. If you have a big vision, if you want to be be a full-time parent, and you haven't hosted a mixer yet, I would challenge that desire. I would question that desire. That I have concerns that maybe you don't really want to be where you say you want to be as much as you think you do. Scheduling a mixer is a great thing to help you get there. The last thing in closing is this. Today is what, the 4th? We are on the front end of the 2-week pay period that then leads into the 3-week pay period, announcement promotion on the 17th, and then the 2-week pay period after that with Advo Nation kickoffs around the country. We are going to see more breakthrough in terms of leadership pin levels and paychecks than we've ever seen in our 22-year history as a company. That is what's going to happen these next 7 weeks, but only if you work with Psychotic Focus. Because this is a season of distraction for so many. I'm not saying don't celebrate Christmas. Christmas is an incredibly important holiday and time with family. But let me tell you something. It's December 4th, not December 25th today. You know, so we can sometimes trick ourselves. Do not be deceived. You know, see, here's the thing. There are some of us on the team, you know, Beth and I, the Ifes, you know, the Butlers, the Rudders, you know, some of us, we get to be full-time families, right? So we have earned our freedom through this thing called AdvoCare. If we wanted, we could check out the next few weeks because we have the paycheck to back it up. But if you still have a job, listen, I understand there are certain things that are non-negotiables with family time and whatnot. But if you were on last night's team call, you heard Melissa Dalrymple talk about how they are sacrificing some things these next 2 years because before their daughter's 8, Chris is going to be a full-time dad. That's a powerful vision. So, you know, here's the thing. It's easy to say, oh, I'd really like to go to that mixer Thursday or that business opportunity meeting Thursday, but, you know, the kids have a Christmas show or you know, we were going to do this thing or, you know, we want to go to that. Like, I get that. I do. But here's the thing. If you do not make some of those sacrifices now to focus on the activities, the productivities that will advance your business, we're going to circle forward 365 days from now and you're still going to be stuck in your job. You're still going to have that debt. It requires of us to exchange certain things in order to get what we most want. We have to give up what we want now for what we want most. That's what it requires. I don't know what that looks like in terms of individual circumstances for you, but what I know is if you are willing to stay focused and committed through this time of year with this 2-3-2 pay period set that's coming that we just started yesterday, what I know is it can change everything for the rest of your lives, and it is worth it. As I'm only 3-4 weeks into this parenting thing right now, but being a full-time dad, there's nothing greater. Being able to be home every single day with my son. And I encourage you, I challenge you to decide your family is worth it and work with focus through this holiday season because breakthroughs coming. You guys are champions. Roll this over to your teams and let's go out there and get to work.